Hi everyone. So I hope this is going to be like a relatively quick video. So I was just thinking about something and I just felt moved in my heart to get on here and share this with you. I don't know if anyone is going through this, but this is going to be a message for anyone that has been dealing with attacks from the enemy or from anyone in your life. Um, and so um, I just want to say, for anyone that is going through this, what the enemy wants, what our spiritual enemy wants, he wants to, derail you. Okay. Um, Whenever he brings pain into your life, okay, when you're walking on that path that you feel God is leading you on, okay, or even you're just trying to get into a better place in your life or get closer to God, whatever the case may be. What Satan, our spiritual enemy, wants, he wants to derail you. So sometimes what he will do is he will bring pain into your life. He will have people hurt you, etc. And this is to derail you, that you would just go through so much pain, that it would just hurt you so badly that you would just quit on the things that you feel God wants you to do. And I speak of this from personal experience. You know, kind of with everything I'm going through, that, when we go through different things, whether it's betrayal, whether it's people doing things against you, even spiritual warfare, it can hurt. It can be so incredibly painful. And I know that it's a hard thing to go through. But I want you to be reminded, that's just what the enemy wants. And like your human enemy, anyone trying to come against you in your life, they want to derail you, knock you off that path that you have been trying to walk in. And I want you to be reminded of that when, things are really painful. And if you want to get even, you want to get even with Satan or even the person that has been doing different things to you in your life, we don't get even by hurting people or anything like that. But if you want to make them upset for the things that they have done to you, don't give in to that feeling you feel where you want to give up and throw in the towel and quit because it's painful or because people are trying to come against you. But, say, no, I'm not going to be derailed. I refuse to be derailed, because that's exactly what the enemy wants. In the midst of the pain that I might be going through, he wants me to be completely derailed. He wants me to throw in the towel. He wants me to quit. And like I said, that's what any human enemies that you're dealing with in your life, that's what they want to. So the best thing you could do, is to keep going. Now, I want to encourage all of you, feel whatever you need to feel. If you need to cry, after everything that's happened, cry out to God, because he wants to comfort you. He understands, he sees, and he's not okay when people do those things to you. He's been leading me to Psalm 37 a lot. And the first line in Psalm 37, says, "Fret not thyself because of evildoers." And I just want this to be a reminder, God sees the things that we go through, the things that people do to you, maliciously. When you are innocent and you did nothing to, people, and you have people coming against you, or you have the enemy coming against you, God sees. And in fact, like a lot of people, maybe, I don't know for sure, but a lot of stuff maybe has stopped I don't know. I feel like that is kind of what I have felt in my life. Like the spiritual attacks have not been as strong. And I haven't had any dreams recently of people doing anything. So maybe it has stopped. I don't know. But I just want this to be a reminder, not only in this season of life, but whatever may come, don't give the enemy the satisfaction of quitting and throwing in the towel, because we don't even walk in our own strength. Even we walk in his, we walk in the Lord's strength. Excuse me. And I just want you to know, if you keep going, if you don't throw in the towel, if you don't quit, you may not feel like you can make it through this season, or to do the things that God has called you to based on the strength that you feel or lack of. But I'm telling you that if you just keep going, if you don't throw in the towel, you don't quit, but you say, no, I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to be derailed. I will cry and get everything out that I need to, because, it is painful going through all these things. But just because I get really upset or hurt doesn't mean that I cannot handle, what God has called me to. I used to think that if I got upset and I was crying, that I couldn't handle the things that God, was maybe leading me to do in my life. I used to look at it in that way. But I want you to understand, when you are upset, when you are hurt, when you're feeling all this pain, it is completely normal and human for you to feel that way. And do not listen to the enemy when he tries to make you feel like you cannot handle things just because you are upset or crying or in a lot of pain because of what you have been through. Because you can handle what God has called you to. In fact, the very truth that you have made it this far proves that. But I want you to understand, you're not walking in your own strength. We're walking in his. Therefore, we can continue in faith. Maybe we feel like we're barely able to take a step, but we can walk in faith. We can move forward. Aren't the trees so pretty outside? Like, I feel like it's so just symbolic. Like, granted, it's fall here where I live, so the trees are like different colors. They look really pretty, but I can't stop looking at my trees in the window, and I'm like, wow, they're so beautiful, even though like you can't see a ton of the colors. But man, to me, I thought that was just symbolic, kind of seeing the light peek through the windows and the trees of I was gonna say new beginnings, but maybe some of you are in that season, I don't know. But I really just want this to be a reminder, we don't have to be derailed, even when we feel hurt, even when we feel like we're struggling. I just want this to be a reminder, there were so many times in my life where Satan tried to make me feel like I had to quit, I had to throw in the towel, I had to give up, because I felt like I didn't have the strength to keep going. Or because, I was feeling so hurt and in so much pain from different things that I had been through in my life. But it was all a lie, that I couldn't keep going, that I couldn't handle things, because I made it to this point. And I want you to understand the significance of us to keep going. Because had I listened to the enemy, or how weak I felt, or the pain that I was feeling that felt like it just overtook me to make me feel like I could not keep going in my life. And mentally and emotionally and physically and spiritually, it may have looked like that. But again, I have made it to this point, and I want you to understand the significance and that Satan is a liar. The devil's a liar. But see, I never could imagine I could make it to this point in my life, The enemy tries to deceive us. Our thoughts can be deceiving. Even what we see with our physical eyes and what we're feeling and what we're experiencing can be so deceptive. And I want this just to be a reminder, that, because I'm in this with you guys, we're in this together. We can keep going. No matter what the enemy is trying to throw at us, no matter what people are trying to do behind your back, no matter even the weakness that you feel. What is the truth is the word of God. What is the truth is that you are strong. What is the truth is that we can keep going because we see everything we have made it through or have been sustained through. We have made it to this point in our lives. Think about the times in your life where maybe you felt like you couldn't possibly make it through your life and never thought you would be sitting here or still standing after everything that you have been through. And I want you to understand, no matter what you're going through right now, that is the truth too. No matter what your mind is trying to tell you, if it's trying to make you feel like, you can't fulfill the things that God has on your life because of this circumstance or this situation or this obstacle or this lie the enemy is trying to tell you or these things that are being done to you, no, wrong. We don't walk in our strength. We walk in His strength. And sometimes we have seasons where, we feel like we barely have the strength to take another step or move forward. And I want you to understand, we have times, where we're just crying to God, based on what we're going through, based on the situation, based on so much pain that we're carrying, and how we feel like we can't hardly take another step. I mean, understand it. We walk in His strength, not our own. And His strength is infinite, and His strength is limitless. But sometimes we have seasons where we are in that place where all we can do is continue to have faith and draw from His strength. But I want you to understand, no matter what the circumstance looks like, no matter what the situation looks like, no matter how derailed you may feel, what is the truth? And the truth is all that you have made it through in your life. The truth is that, you're sitting here listening to me share this message. You're still standing despite everything that has tried to knock you down, defeat you, absolutely destroy you. You're still standing. Maybe you feel like you're barely standing, but you're still standing. And I just want to encourage you, no matter what the situation or circumstance looks like, we don't have to be derailed. We can cry and we can feel really hurt and whatever we may be feeling or going through, whether physically, whether emotionally. But we don't have to be derailed. We can keep going. We don't have to give up. And just because we're upset or we feel we're carrying all this pain or we don't know how to have the strength to keep going doesn't mean that we have to be derailed, that we have to quit, that we have to throw in the towel and give up. No. Greater is He that is in us than he that's in the world. Though we may be hard pressed on every side, we're perplexed but not in despair, persecuted but not forsaken, cast down but not destroyed. We are not destroyed. We don't have to fall into despair. We have His hope. We have His strength that we walk in. Apart from just what we can see with our own eyes or what we're feeling and experiencing right now in these seasons. And I want to encourage you to not lose faith. Even if it's just a glimpse of faith. And for anyone that is trying to walk in the things that God has called you to, I want to encourage you to, with me, keep going. No matter what the enemy is trying to tell you, no matter how difficult the enemy is trying to tell you it will be, for us to keep going. For us to believe, truly we can do all things. It doesn't just say some things. It doesn't just say things that might not be super difficult, but it says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. All things. I pray that, our minds would just be renewed in that, no matter what you're facing. Believing that He is the one that will do all things for us, even when we feel completely weak. Believing that He will do all things through us, even when we don't know how. And it reminds me of the verse that I always bring up. But in the book of Exodus, my presence will go with you and I will give you rest. His presence is with us wherever we go. And He is the one that gives us rest. In Him, we can rest. Believing that He is going before us. He is fighting on behalf of us. He will do all things through us. Therefore, can keep going. We are not derailed. We can stand in faith. As we rest in Him. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Welcome to any new subscribers. Again, thank you so much for watching, you guys. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys are all doing all right. God bless you.